and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Glad you stayed with us tonight. I want to tell you about a new to me nonprofit that's doing some amazing work here in the community with a really innovative way to get volunteers involved in helping the people that need food in our community, which is a huge problem. So here representing the Portland Food Project, I have Mary Noddy. You're the Communication and Outreach Coordinator. Thanks for being here, Mary.
Thank you. And
Sonia Jerkin-Jones, you are a Strategy and Outreach Coordinator. Did I get all that right?
Yes.
Thank you for being here. So the Portland Food Project, I can't remember where I first heard about it, but I looked it up online, and I really like your strategy for trying to provide food for our neighbors. Who wants to tell me a little bit about how this came about and why you're doing this?
Well, the Portland Food Project started in 2012 when our founder, Richard Noodleman, moved to Portland from the Ashland, Oregon area. Okay. When he lived in Ashland, he was involved in a project that actually started there. It's an Oregon-grown project called the Neighborhood Food Project. Okay. And when he moved to Portland, he noticed that there were very similar issues going on, which is a lot of food insecurity, and that the pantries were running out of food or very low on food in between the times when the Oregon Food Bank could deliver food. So they started this revolutionary way to keep the pantries stocked year-round. And it's very simple, it's very easy, and it connects neighbors to neighborhood coordinators and donors and makes a great community involvement. We started with just 12 or 14 donors collecting 200 pounds of food for 2 pantries in 2012. And 4 years later, we're now up to over 1,300 donors. Wow. And we have 20 partner pantries throughout the entire Portland metro area.
Huge. That's huge growth.
And we are collecting, on average, 14,000 pounds of food every 2 months.
Wow. So I would say that's a successful project. Sonia, you brought a video for us to see that kind of explains how the whole process works. Can you set it up for me, what we're going to be seeing here on this video?
So what we're going to see on this video is how the project works. It's actually a national food project. You can take the model and recreate it anywhere. There are over 40 food projects across America right now. And so this video will really set up how easy it is to help your neighbors and also get a little bit more of that community sense back.
Right. I think that's what I really liked about this idea. So, okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at that video now.
Thanks.
Have you ever been really hungry and not known where your next meal is coming from? Most Americans are pretty lucky when it comes to food. The only question we have to ask is, what will I eat? But some Americans are not so lucky. They have to ask, will I have enough food to eat? About 50 million Americans, this is almost 1 in 6 of us, struggle with hunger every year. And about 17 million of them are children. These kids and their families know something that most of us will never have to learn. Being hungry all the time isn't just a distraction. Hunger changes everything. It puts people more at risk for disease. It makes it tough to hold jobs or concentrate in school. It can even harm expectant mothers and their unborn babies. Hunger is a trap for seniors on fixed incomes, for disabled vets, for the working poor. Often, after rent, utilities, and other basic expenses are paid, there's just not enough money left to feed themselves or their families. That's when food banks become a lifeline, providing emergency food supplies. There are more than 50,000 of them in the United States, almost all independent local nonprofits run by volunteers. They need a regular supply of nutritious items like tuna, cereal, peanut butter, tomato sauce, and pasta. And that's where you and the Food Project come in. You want to help? We make it easy. It's all in the power of one green bag. The Food Project is an easy way to work with neighbors to provide a steady supply of food to your food bank. Here's how it works. A volunteer called a neighborhood coordinator signs up neighbors and friends to be food donors. Each donor gets a reusable green Food Project bag. When they go to the supermarket each week, they buy one extra non-perishable food item, take it home, and store it in the bag. Then every 2 months, on the second Saturday of every even month, their neighborhood coordinator picks up their bag and leaves an empty one for the next time. All the bags of food are taken directly to the food bank, where volunteers unpack, weigh, and shelve the food. And it really works, because when your bag is combined with your neighbor's bags, you create the unbeatable power of community. Already, millions of pounds of food have been collected by food projects around the U.S. This is the kind of neighbor-to-neighbor program we need in America today, something that brings out the best in us as we work together to solve real-life problems. So, start or join one where you live. Help change the world, one green bag at a time.
Very nice, very nice. That's a really good explanation of how that works. So you not only have people who are participating by providing food, by an extra can or box or whatever in their bag, but you have volunteers who are picking up the food, who are sorting the food, and then bringing back bringing back an empty bag and taking the food. So I mean, is it all pretty much volunteer run for the most part?
100%.
It's 100%. So you're both volunteers.
Yes,
we are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
even more impressive.
Yeah.
So how does so I can understand how as a single volunteer I could get involved, but as a community, I mean, I assume you would want a neighborhood to do it rather than just one person here, one person here, one person there. How does that work?
Well,
Well, it works really well, actually, because the idea is so simple. We have about 1,300 donors right now, right across the Portland metro area, which is huge.
Right.
And they're creating the power of community. What we do is we ask a neighborhood coordinator, as you saw in the video, to set up their neighborhood that they know. So we're not asking people to go to strangers.
Right. So
or,
they go to their people next
they
door,
go to their
across
friends,
the street.
the people they have barbecues with. And it allows people to come together and help in a way that gives them like regular contact with a community issue. But also as well, it's simple. I mean, we have like the little green bag.
Those are great. Those are nice, good, sturdy bags. I like
They
those.
are. They're
They're very
reusable bags, so we don't want to create a trash issue either.
Right.
And if you fill a green bag like this, which we've got some examples of full green bags down at the bottom of the table, that's about 10 meals for a hungry person.
Wow.
And so the 14,000 pounds we collect every 2 months is about 10,000 meals that we separate up between the 20 partner pantries.
That's a lot of food, and that's a lot of stomachs that got filled that wouldn't have otherwise.
It is. I mean, hunger in Oregon today is still really prevalent. Our goal is to feed Portland, to get rid of hunger in Portland.
In Portland, yeah.
Which seems to get worse every year.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It does. People lose their jobs. They don't. They can't get off the assistance, and that's what they're surviving on. Or sometimes it's just a temporary thing, which people go through those. Everybody has a downtime, right?
it is. But it shocked me to find out that 92,000 children a month access emergency food boxes.
Wow. And the subsidized food programs in the schools. I mean, some of the schools around here have almost 100% participation, and they're qualified. They've qualified for that. So that's a really sad thing to think about, kids going to school without a breakfast or going home. Maybe lunch was their last meal of the day.
Hungry children don't learn, they can't focus, and it sets them back for life. And so what we try and do is, our pantries that we work with actually get food from other sources,
Like the Oregon Food Bank.
Oregon Food Bank. But we work together in two ways to address hunger. We actually address it with other organizations. So with the Oregon Food Bank, with Partners for a Hunger-Free Oregon, the Multnomah County Childhood Hunger Coalition.
Okay.
Snappy name. But we come together and we try and address some of the big drivers of hunger, which we can't do on our own, because emergency food isn't the answer long term.
It's a Band-Aid, but yes.
Right. But our day-to-day program, what we put all our volunteers' effort on, obviously, is the emergency food.
Right.
Because having food in your stomach is the #1 priority for a child.
Sure. So, what about the people that are in need that you mentioned? I mean, obviously, if we can help out our neighbors, that's great. But the people who are in need, how do they access the food? I mean, they don't call you because So what do they do?
No.
Do people call you sometimes asking?
Sometimes people call us, but we actually work with our donors and the pantries, because the pantries is the vehicle that already exists. So what we encourage people to do who are struggling, and it could be anybody. It could be me tomorrow. So there's no stigma involved. Go to your local food pantry. And if you don't know where that is, there's a really easy number to remember. 211. 211, or if you're online, www.211info.org, and you will get someone who understands your situation, who will direct you to your nearest food bank.
Good. Yeah. There's a lot of great organizations doing good work as far as feeding the hungry. This is a different way to approach it, and I like the sense of community. Yeah. That's a great part of it. You brought some pictures too, didn't you, of some people that are involved in this?
Yes.
So maybe we could take a look at some of those pictures, and you can tell us what we're looking at here.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is at our drop-off site. So we just have a location where we take all of the donations every 2 months to volunteers there, unload all the bags and weigh them. And you see cars come stacked full of bags.
Wow.
And we move them into the facility, they get weighed, and then they get placed into piles for all of the different pantries. And then the pantries then take them out and load them into their vehicles and take them directly to their pantries. So the food, those are the piles of the food right there for specific pantries. And they just get moved that day directly to our partner pantries. So we have no storage facilities or anything.
Well, that's great. It's very efficient that way. But you know what I kind of like about that is that it looks like the people are having fun just doing that. You know, I get the sense of community just working together on that project.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Because if you're at the center where they bring the food to, they don't necessarily know each other, but I bet they become friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Right.
And those 14,000 pounds of food move 4 times on that one day.
Wow.
They're picked up from so as a donor, we will pick your food up from your doorstep. So the neighborhood coordinator picks it up from your doorstep.
It's really efficient.
Then drives it to the collection point, and then it's moved, so that's once, and then it's moved again into the collection point, and that's why we need volunteers to do,
because there's a lot
to
of
move
lifting.
it as well, a lot of lifting. And then it's put into piles, and then it's moved to the pantry, so that this 14,000 pounds of food is moved a lot. And,
Right. And it's moved from the pantry to whomever comes to get it. We're actually almost out of time, so tell me, what's your biggest need? Which area of volunteerism do you think you need more people?
Neighborhood coordinators and donors.
Okay.
Those go hand in hand.
Okay, so somebody in the neighborhood to step up and say, yeah, I will let my neighborhood know about this. So is there a minimum number of people you have to have involved in any one neighborhood?
Not at all. And we can help get neighborhood coordinators donors. They can get their own donors. We really do hand-holding as much as anybody needs to just get to learn about it, to get involved, to get going.
If somebody asked you to come to a neighborhood, neighborhood association meeting, would you come to that and talk about it?
We have one coming up.
Yeah, we welcome talking.
Okay.
We also offer companies who are wondering how they could get involved the opportunity to sponsor our thank you cards. And we are 100% volunteer, but we do have to buy the green bags.
Yes.
And so by sponsoring one of our bi-monthly thank you cards, then people like the Portland Nursery have allowed us to continue to expand through buying more green bags.
Great. Okay. Well, we are out of time, so people want more information, whether it's a business, an individual, somebody who's dying to be a neighborhood coordinator, go ahead and check out the website and they can find out more information, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching Community Hotline. This is a great organization, a good way to get involved, maybe to get the whole family involved in, helping the kids pick out the extra food to put in your bag every week. So check it out. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll see you here next week on Community Hotline.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.